evening. The camera's a bit moved. Hang on. That's better, isn't it? There we go. Now I can see where I'm supposed to be. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another 40k After Dark stream. Yes, I sound tired because I'm tired. I've been in London all day. It's been hot. It's been mildly uncomfortable. It's been a good day on the whole. But I was going to do a specific stream tonight, and I am, in fact, going to change slightly that stream, right? The title kind of gives it away, okay? I have a pinned comment in there for you. A lot of people last night said, go check out Mikey from Hellstorm's video on terrain. It's very interesting. He's broken it in a couple of places. To be clear, I don't think he's broken it. I watched it this morning, and I messaged Mikey, and I spoke to him about it. I don't think he's broken it. What I think he has done is currently demonstrate exactly how it works. Like, exactly how it works, okay? So I was going to do a watch along tonight. I had permission from him to do that and talk about the terrain, and I've decided not to. I'm going to go into that in just a moment. But I really want you people to click that link and pause and save the video or stick it in your history so you can watch it later. And I really want you to go and watch that video. Genuinely want you to go and watch that video, right? This is me telling you guys to go and watch a Hellstorm Wargaming video. I know, the world must be ending. But it's actually really interesting. I could sit here and try and explain it to you people. I could sit here and try and talk you through it. He's just done a good job already, so there's no point me doing that as to how terrain works and why it's arguably a problem as it's currently worded, okay? So there's no point me trying to take you through it. There's no point me even doing the reaction, okay? Because I'm not disproving anything he's done because everything he's got is right, right? Everything he's got is right. So if you haven't already, go check out the Hellstorm Wargaming video. Please, if you do go and check it out, even if you all click on that link right now and just raid the video and put a little comment on saying, you know, Liam sent us or something like that, right? Do it. This isn't a trap. This isn't like I've been chatting to Mikey today. This isn't a trap at all. I wanted to talk about rules. I've decided not to. I'll explain why in just a moment, okay? In the meantime, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons. The like, subscribe, bell, notification nonsense that we always have. Please do all those things for me because it really helps us out. And actually, lately, you guys have been incredible with the likes. We've been hitting hundreds of we've been hitting 100 likes within the first 5 minutes, which is fucking mad. Like, I used to be happy if I hit 100 likes in a stream. So I'm super grateful and super pleased. You people are incredible. I love you very, very dearly, right? Love you very, very dearly. Now, there's a couple of other things. I've said in the Only Thanes chat today that if tonight alone, and it's tonight alone, if tonight alone we hit 250 new members, and yes, I've set it high on purpose, chat, don't you worry. Hang on.
Well, I'm back in the chat.
I fixed it for you after Dave banned you, Sven. Yeah, welcome back, dude. So, so if we hit 250 new members tonight, right, I've said that I will give Castellan the mod powers that he keeps asking for. He's got this whole thing. If you know Cass, if you follow him on Twitter, if you talk to him in Discord, if you look at him on Facebook, he keeps doing Cass for mod everywhere. He's got t-shirts made and all stuff because he wants to be a moderator. We love Cass. I love him dearly. But the last time I made him a moderator, he banned about 25 people in seconds, right? So, by the way, Sven, thank you for the 10-year legend. So, if we hit 250 new members in a night, then Cass will get his moderator rights, okay? However, if it carries on going and gets to 300, I'll take him back off of him. Okay, Mordy Hammer, thank you for the poo. It's in jest. It's not going to happen. So it's just a bit of a fun thing for us to do, right? And now I'm going to pour my mead because fucking hell, I need this today. So, some of you are probably aware that I normally ridicule Hellstorm and take the piss out of him. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not. I don't know if you know, if you think I'm being serious or not. Mikey's a lovely guy. I have a lot of time for Mikey. Mikey's a lovely guy. I throw shade at him because he's a friend of mine, okay? I don't throw shade at him because I think he's a knob. I genuinely throw shade at him because he's a friend of mine and I like the guy. If I ever thought actually he was taking it very seriously, he was getting all upset and stuff, I'd stop, okay? So after last night when you guys all kept telling me to go check the video out, I was like, cool, a lot of people have said it, I'm going to go check the video. I do in fact listen to you people. I know you might be surprised by that, but I do in fact listen to you people. So I went and tried... I went and watched the video this morning, actually. I watched the video, okay? I got most of the way through it, and I was like, I need to message him. It's actually a really good video. And I was talking to him about it this morning. And I was so annoyed by the sort of terrain rules and how they've kind of created a little bit of jank that Mikey describes very, very well in the video that I've pinned. it it got me a bit worked up. I was like, so I was talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to shout out the link and do a watch along, you're more than welcome to."
Good evening, you sexy bearded man. I needed this after this week. Also, when my Uncle Frank died, he wanted his cremations to be buried in his favorite beer mug. His last wish was to be Frankenstein.
That's fucking terrible. I thought your Uncle Frank actually died then, but thank you for the 10. Okay. So I was chatting to him about it, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to do a watch along, it's fine. I'm more than okay for you to do that." But I actually, in seriousness, and this, like, again, you all feel like this is a trap. I can see you in chat. I, like, genuinely don't want to take the views away from him. He deserves for people to go and watch this because it's very well demonstrated as to how it works and where the problems are. Okay. So, go watch that. And then I dived into some... So the Space Marine, the data sheets came out today, as you guys are probably already aware. You can download them on the Warhammer Community article. You can go look at all the Space Marine data sheets. And I did the classic, like, I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm annoyed. I was on the train home from London. I was like, what would definitely cheer me up is going into YouTube, not YouTube, yeah, well, YouTube in places, but also Facebook, and looking at everyone's comments. And so this now brings us full circle 6 minutes into the title of the stream. I'm banning 10th edition, but for tonight only, okay? So bit of clickbait, because fuck it, I want to get some viewers in, so people super chat and give memberships and stuff, like, you know, like you guys, because you're amazing, right? Like Tim just did with the gifted one. Thank you, Tim, you're a hero. But I'm just kind of... So here's the thing, right? We obviously now know that they're drip feeding indexes out, although at least it seems that way right now, okay? So we have had Tyranids yesterday. We've had Space Marines today. We had the 10th edition rules last weekend. So it could be assumed that they're going to be dishing out these rules piecemeal. And if I'm honest with you, I'm just flat fucking bored of arguing with people or people arguing with each other. That's not why I'm in the hobby, okay? I'm in the hobby to communicate with, spend time with, hang out with other beautiful humans who are in the hobby, who like the hobby and enjoy the hobby. I do not want to spend 20 fucking minutes arguing about rules with other people. That's not what I'm here for. Now, assuming they're going to come out piecemeal, at some point in the near future, all of the rules will be out, including points. At the point in which that happens, talking heads can go back to talking about rules. But we don't have points, so we don't have context of strength. We don't have other indexes, so we don't know whether it's balanced against other indexes or not. We don't have the designer's commentary they promised us, so we don't know how it's... Like, there's so many unknowns right now. I'm actually in a position where I personally think I cannot do a good job reviewing rules for you people because there are too many unknowns. Okay? Now, next week we're trying to do 4 games of 40k throughout the week, so there won't be any talking heads next week until I'm in Titans, and there will be hopefully a 40k after dark in Titans on Friday, hanging out with Adrian or Bridget or both, fingers crossed, live on stream with you beautiful people. Who knows? Maybe by that point the rules will be out, we can go back to talking about things and judging whether it's good or bad, etc. But at the moment, I'm just done with it. I'm just done with... Like, the whole point in this game isn't to encourage everybody to bicker with each other. The whole point in this game is for people to get together and enjoy themselves and have fun and you know, and be sociable and roll dice and just enjoy themselves. Like, it was in the chat earlier. Like, for me, they've already made a fuck up. They made a big thing before the edition launched about how Space Marines no longer worry about what transport they go in. And then they released the Rhino rules today, and guess what? You can take Space Marines, but you can't take Tacticus, Gravis, Phobos. Why did they remove the Primaris keyword when in the past it said can't take Primaris, and they replace it with Tacticus, Phobos, Gravis, and then they go, you can't take Tacticus, Phobos, Gravis. But what the fuck is that all about? How's that more simplified? It's fucking bullshit. This is why I'm not going to get into it tonight, right? This is why I'm not going to get into it tonight. So first of all, I'm going to say a massive, huge, gynoferous, great hall welcome to John McCardle for the 50 gifted. What a legend. Thank you so much. You are an absolute hero of the channel. Thank you, you legend. And a big shout out to Jack as well, who came in with 5 gifted memberships. You're an absolute legend too. So you're a hero. I love you both. But this is why I'm not getting into it tonight, right? So we're going to go back to borderline old school 40k After Dark, okay? So I've got my Vikings Blood mead with me. I've poured myself a mug of it. Let's just chat fun, tell shit jokes, talk about anything. I don't care. I just don't want to argue about 10th edition rules anymore. I'm bored of arguing about 10th edition rules. That's not the whole point in what this whole hobby's about for me. And it's I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to be one of those people who goes, it's affecting my mental, because it's not, but it is starting to put a bit of a Debbie Downer on the whole fucking thing for me right now. Okay? It's just, like, I'm so bored of every interaction with people at the moment being an argument about how keywords work, or an argument about how attached units work, or an argument about whether GW are a bunch of cunts or not. I don't understand. That's not why I'm here. Chat, we're supposed to be here to enjoy ourselves, have fun, tell terrible fucking horrifically offensive jokes, just enjoy each other's company. We come together because we love a tabletop hobby. We hang out because we like each other's company and we like to enjoy each other's company and we like to chat nonsense. So, you know, let's just do that, okay? Cheers. I need this today. I need it. The other thing as well is, and I'm aware that like Soups has gone for subjecto changeo. I will, honestly. The other thing I will say, however, is like if I'm going to place blame somewhere, right, and I need to be clear about this because I'm aware that some of you over the course of the last week will have probably been in chat arguing with each other. If I'm going to place blame about all of this and how I'm feeling about it, right, I'm placing the blame at the feet of GW for this because of this incredibly long, overextended, drawn-out release period where they haven't given us all of the information or all of the rules all of the time. A core rule book with no designer's commentary, indexes with no points. The reason why we are where we are is simply because they haven't given us all the information we need to actually make a sensible, informed decision about the edition, about the rules, about the game. And me personally, I am a super excited person when it comes to 10th edition. I really want to play more 10th edition. I really want to continue playing 10th edition. And actually, from the couple of games I've played so far now, I'm really enjoying 10th edition. And I actually want to be positive. And I won't be positive for the sake of being positive. You guys know me, but I want to be positive about it. And I'm just being pulled down slightly. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it tonight. So let's just have some fun. How does that sound, chat? If you're specifically here to talk about 10th rules or argue about interactions, like I have nothing against you. I love you. You're all brilliant, but I don't want to do that tonight. Okay, I don't want to do that. You're drinking cold mead. 100%. This stuff's best cold, Kev. Honestly, Lara, thank you for the gifted one.
WTB30X Desolator Marines.
Yeah, there's another Hellstorm video about that as well, John. Thank you so much for the 10 there, you're a hero. Matt, thank you for the 5. If I was a Night Lord, I would be wondering why my Chaos Lord was taking off his jump pack. If I was a Night Lord, it was a Ginger Steve competition from a long time ago, right? So, right. Cool. How does it sound, chat? Does that sound like a good idea to you? Does it sound like a stream? Because if you all think it's shit, I'll be honest with you, if you all think it's shit, I'll just turn it off. Because I'm most definitely not talking about 10th tonight. It's banned for the night. No 10th. Tonight, okay? No 10th. If I was a Night Lord, I ain't getting any new shit in 10th. Preach. Leaks, thank you for the 5. What non-stream related stuff are you looking forward to doing while you're in the States? I mean, I've seen the streaming schedule, Leaks. I don't have time for that apart from eating and sleeping. So, yeah. You'll see. Right, people. Next Thursday, this Thursday coming, I am flying out to Tabletop Titans for 8 days, okay? And we have a monumentally packed stream schedule. Monumentally packed stream schedule. Between my channel and their channel, I think we're talking minimum 2 streams a day. Minimum 2 streams a day. Okay? So, minimum 2 streams a day. Can we talk about the memo they sent to the FLGS? What memo? When was that, Chris? What is 10th? Please explain. Fuck off. My grief counselor died. He was so good. I didn't even care. See, that's what we're all about. Freddie Faz says, I subscribe. Thanks, man. You're a hero. I love you. Right, chat, how do we push up sub numbers? Because we've got rookie numbers right now for subs, at least. Live viewers, fine. Right? Subs, rookie numbers. Okay? Mordy, thank you for the 5. No one needs to be making any decision about 10th except whether they want to buy Leviathan or not. It's all free otherwise. Absolutely. We don't talk about 10th. Leave it alone, right? Shh. But thank you for the 5, man. You're a hero. I love you. Rogue Trail looks good. And Space Marine 2 co-op.
Almost went out and bought scouts based on the rules that came out, but then remembered just want to build and paint what looks cool. Bought Kazrakin instead. Forget the rules. Still loving the hobby.
Yeah, rule are cool, man. This is, you know, I'm gently trying to steer Joe in this direction. Okay. I'm gently trying to steer Joe in this direction where where I'm trying to get him away from this gamey and like kind of underlying feeling that he has, where he's like, Joe's like, I'm a narrative player, that's why I've got 3 units of 5 Blade Guard, 3 Brutalis, and no Blood Angels units in the whole of my Blood Angels army. And I'm like, no, can we just go rule of cool, actually, instead of just things that are good? That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be nice. They sold out of the box set if you don't get it directly from them. What's that? Who's that? Who? Make sure you bring a respirator. It's fire season in California and Canada. Don't judge the rest of the US from the smoke show you're going to experience. In California, it's not at the moment, is it? I know it is in Canada right now because of North America, isn't it? What is the one T that an Englishman cannot stand? Humidity. I mean, today has been hot here. And like, talking to my dearest friends in California who have it at 70 Fahrenheit right now. For you people who like to talk in freedom units. And over here today, it's been 77, and tomorrow it's supposed to go up to about 82 Fahrenheit. It's hotter than California, right? It's mad. Mad. Honestly, same with my world eaters. I'm wanting some Cataphractii Terminators to do in white and blue just for rule of cool, despite having 10 cost in red and brass. Yeah, do it. It's fucking cool, right? What's a puppy? What's a puppy and a short-sighted gynecologist have in common? Wet noses. Oh, Dave, come on. Those sorts of jokes have got to be a paid for one, really. So she reads it out, not me, so I don't get in trouble. Sucks in DC, haven't been able to let my kid outside for 2 days. Yeah, basically in fucking lockdown again, right? Thanks, Skippy. GW sold out of the box set for that allocations to family local game stores. GW sold out of the box set for that allocations to friendly local game stores. Okay, so every single box they had allocated to an FLGS went to an FLGS. Some FLGS have been given less than their expected allocation, although some have had more, apparently. I mean, FLGS is getting less than their expected allocation is not news, by the way. That happens every release. Like, literally every release. Angron, the Lion, you know, you put in a bid for how many you want, and often that isn't how many you get. So that's not news, right? Only 20C in my part of California. Yeah, so it's 25 in London today. 20 fucking 5 in London today. In that concrete shithole jungle. Who, like, right, chat, 220 people in chat. I know a lot of you aren't UK based, but how many people like go to London and like London? Answer me that, right? Do you know the phrase, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Wonderful saying. Horrible way to find out you're adopted. Amazing. If I was a Night Lord, I'd use pizza home delivery service instead of taxis home. Thanks, Dave. No, they didn't run out sending boxes to friendly local gaming stores. I don't understand. This is the problem with you people in chat, right? Because you're all cheapskates, you only get a limited number of words, and you don't often get to give me the full story. Cali Central Valley looking beautiful today. I'm sure it is. I love California. I could absolutely live in California. Although I would want to still be near the sea as well, though, because I'm a coastal dweller. I was born on the coast. Is Amy working? Yeah, she's working. Everything's working here. I need it to go up, right? I would need it to go off to see if she's actually bouncing on here again. Whee! From Knots, hate London, love London. I love London because I live there. Can't stand it, says Cobra. I don't like London, mate. Too many people hate it. Yeah, see, London is good for raving. Sounds awful. I do like London, just not every day. London is the worst because it's So stuff. Oh, Painted Dawn. By the way, I've seen Gaz's message about Discord, mate. I give me the weekend. I'll try and fix it for you. Okay. I know your Discord access is currently broken. Give me the weekend and I'll try and fix it for you. Worst case scenario is I'll manually assign you the access so that you're not still waiting. I don't know why it's causing you problems. Fucking hate London. Glad I moved away from it. No longer need to drive around for walk. Hated it when I worked there. Too many annoying people in the way. It's just people everywhere, right? It's just people everywhere. It's just a fucking giant concrete jungle. I think the problem is that GW have been telling FLGS that there would be no problem all this week. The outpost got less than 25% of a figure they were told would be no problem during the week. That's a problem, isn't it? London's good for maybe one day. Imperial War Museum. Yeah, I don't mind it too much if I'm going as a tourist. If I'm going for business reasons, it's fucking horrible. If you're going and you're on a time limit, it really fucking sucks, right? It really sucks. I'm a Yorkshireman and saw someone once pay £10 for a pub sandwich. Never again.
When you are about an hour out of New York on the way to SF, wave at me at the southern side of the plane. Thank you to you, Luce, Joe, Ron, and all the chat for making me smile on days when I am just, what the F now.
Neil, thank you so much for the 20, man. That is 110% exactly what we're trying to do, right? That's exactly what we're trying to do. The whole point in this, okay, so obviously, let's be straight and frank, right? Obviously, the end goal for me with YouTube is to monetize it and make money, okay? Now, I have 2 small children, and I have a wife, and I have a family to look at. That's my family that I have to look after. So my intent is to make absolutely as much money as possible so I can give them a comfortable life and a good upbringing. But more importantly, what I want to do is I want to entertain people and I want to make people smile. That's the whole reason why I do this. I like making people laugh. I've always liked making people laugh. I've been told for years by people, you should try stand-up. I actually think I'd be dog shit on a stage. I don't think I could ever be on a stage in front of people and just, hey, be funny, monkey boy. I don't think I could do that. That's not something I could do, right? And when I found I could kind of do it via streaming, I sort of fell in love with it very, very quickly. So one of the other reasons for wanting to make as much money as possible, and I mean as much money as possible, is there's the potential to expand, to bring a bigger team in, to make more content, to have a more positive impact on the community. So for those of you that aren't aware, we have a super secret project, which isn't so secret, right? Where we are looking at building a venue, which is a gaming hall, a bar, a shop area. It will have my studio built in, which is an added bonus. But ultimately, I'm build it and they will come. I'm trying to build a location that people want to come to so they can hang out and enjoy themselves. And we give them a place to go and do their hobby and make their home and make the place where they want to enjoy themselves and make their default place to go. The intent isn't that we just have one location in Southampton. The intent is, in fact, that we have multiple locations across the whole of the UK and potentially then even spread out into Europe and into the Americas. In my overly excited brain that I have, where I always think big, is this brand. I want this brand to become a global brand, and I want, no matter where you are in the world, that you to have a chance to go to a place that makes you feel welcome, that makes you happy to be there, that makes you feel like you're looked after, and that you're not an inconvenience, and brings a smile to your face. And the whole point of all of this is that we bring a smile to your face, right? That's the whole point. So when I get that kind of feedback from Neil, Umbra, who's in chat, I'm sure he won't mind saying, put something not too dissimilar in the OnlyThanes WhatsApp chat today. Like, it's really heartwarming because it's kind of like, hey, we're doing a good job. Like, at that point, me and Joe and Brom and Luce, we're all doing a good job. And that's just really, really lovely feedback, right? Genuinely really lovely feedback. So, you know, it is amazing to hear you guys say that we can put a smile on your face, and even when things are a bit shit, we still make you laugh. That's cool, right? What does tofu and a dildo have in common? They're both meat replacement substitutes. One, Jonathan, is significantly more effective than the other. Visit the UK once the SSP is in place and open. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hey, you, I haven't done your cable. So if you want to do your cable, you'll need to do your cable, darling. I went from a 5-kilometre run through the south of London Park this morning before work. Had lunch in near Oxford Street, and then went back home to work. When you went for that 5-kilometre run, was that because you wanted to, or was that out of necessity so you didn't get stabbed? Which is it? Is it necessity or safety? You know, or was it because you wanted to? I feel like it's probably one of the first. When you're all plugged in, you let me know and I'll unmute you. Okay. We are all moving in with Liam. Yeah, you can come and move into the super secret project. You can do that. You can do that, absolutely. If I was a Night Lord, I'd break into G-Dubs, open every box, steal one Stern Guard and one Carnifex leg, bury them in Coventry under the cover of darkness. Why would you do that, Dave? That's just mean. I've got this little. I've got this little weird heart thing on my chat window, which I can't get rid of. I can't get rid of it though, and it blocks half of what people are saying sometimes. It's fucking annoying. Does anyone actually use it? What happens if you press the heart? Oh, a little heart bubble came up. Oh, are you ready? Are you plugged in and good to go? Everybody, say good evening and welcome to. You'll be very happy tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've banned talking about 10th edition.
Oh, so I don't need my bell.
You don't need your bell now. You don't need your bell, right?
Okay. No bell.
Just looked 237 miles from where I live to Southampton. I may have to be Grey Knights and just teleport there. Absolutely. Do you provide camping? Absolutely not. There is a travel lodge around the corner. Look at all these. Where's all these hearts coming from? That's fucking annoying. It doesn't do anything for me either. I don't. What it should do is it should charge you £1 every time you click one. Hey, thanks Big Ron for the 5. Hey, the whole crew is doing a great job. Glad you're on YouTube. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. We're glad we're on YouTube too. You people are amazing. Oh, I didn't update John's Lara. Thank you for the 1 and Jack's members, gifted members. I haven't done that. Have I missed a super? I felt like I missed a super chat as well. Oh, Big Bad Peter Gaming. Thank you for the 5. What is the one tea that an Englishman can't... Oh, we did that one, actually. What's the one tea that an Englishman can't stand, Lise?
The one...
Tea that an Englishman can't stand.
A drink tea.
What is the one tea that an Englishman can't stand?
I thought this is a trap. It's not a drink, is it?
I can't...
Because you're not agreeing with me when I said tea.
What is the one tea that an Englishman can't stand? This will sing to you, this joke.
It will sing to me.
Yeah, it will resonate with you. No. No, I'm not giving you clues.
Okay.
This isn't a trick. Just go, I don't know. What is...
I don't know. What is...
This is why you can't tell jokes in my house, chat.
What is the one tea an Englishman can't stand?
Humidity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Peter. I've kind of ruined that for you.
That does speak to me. I can't. I don't know. I don't know how I haven't stabbed someone today because I can't do the hair. I can hear the hair getting bigger as the humidity gets higher.
Escapades and Luz, please ding whenever anyone mentions 10th
Shall
tonight.
I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you probably should. I think that's the thing. Anyway, so I had to add 56 to 87. Luz, what's 56 plus 87?
What? Sorry? I was reading.
What's 56 plus 87?
130, 143?
Yes. I did this with Joe last night, and that's fucking pulling teeth.
Quick maths is a real anxiety for
No,
a lot
maths.
of people.
Remember maths?
Yeah,
double F.
definitely.
Double F. I just ordered a McDonald's because I fancied a McFlurry. The sacrifices I make, says Ozzy. Amazing. So you've got a burger and chips that you didn't want, just so you could have the ice cream. Love it. Quick question, says Umbra. I have my final 9th edition tournament on the 24th. Thinking about a deep striking night. Good idea. Pass. Yeah, it's 9th. It's the last of it. It's going to be the last one at 9th edition, right? Just do whatever the fuck you want, Umbra. Go for it.
Oliver.
Deep striking night sounds fun.
Oliver has said, are you sure Lucy isn't an autistic person? As that is just like me. The jokes go over my head. No, we're not sure, Oliver.
We are not sure what she is, quite frankly. Soups, thank you for the 5. If Luce can manage to make it all the way to the end of the stream without dinging that bell again, she should get an award. A Nobel Prize. Thank you, Soups, for the 5. You're a legend. I thought that was a serious challenge for a moment, but no. Sven, thank you for the 5 gifted. Did you know?
What?
Sven's been getting frustrated for ages because he hasn't been able to super chat.
Why?
Well, it's because Dave banned him.
Why?
Just did. Just fucking went for it, didn't he?
The Milk 14. My wife is mad that I have no sense of direction, so I packed my stuff and write.
I basically said to them, right, it's no 40k talk tonight because I've fucking had enough of everyone arguing about rules for the whole week. Until
rules
got about the new upcoming
which
edition.
Is called...
Right, so I'm so sick of it. So I said to them, until we have all of the rules, we're not going to discuss whether things are broken or whether things work or not. So instead, it's a night of shit jokes.
Okay.
All right, so that's the challenge. When is Luce not feeling stabby? She is from Coventry, absolutely. Yeah. We could do that. We could go on a half an hour rant, like whinging about Coventry again.
No, enough about Cov now. There's so many other places we can shine a light on.
Oh yeah, I was in London today.
I've only been to London a handful of times. The last time I went was a few years ago.
And
it blew my mind that to get from where I was to the Imperial War Museum was a 45-minute walk.
I went to Bad Moon Cafe.
Yeah.
I took 2 people with me. We were chatting business, okay? As part of any good business meeting, there is alcohol involved.
Right.
So I ordered 2 pints of beer and 1 bottle of cider for 3 people. Mm-hmm. Okay. And spent over £17.
Yeah. That's mad. I remember when I worked at the Harvester, there was a riot because Carling had gone up to £2.50.
17 fucking quid for 3 drinks.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I'd be like, I'm not paying it. That's crazy.
I'm getting just the run round, the 1 round actually. That was it.
Yeah.
Just, oh my fucking God.
Did anyone else get the round?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Everyone got the round.
okay.
It's fine.
Who has a friend that every time it's their turn on the round, they take a phone call, they go to the toilet, I'm going now. So bye mate, I'm going.
We used to have a guy like that. When I used to work on the underground, there was a guy like that. There's always 4 of us that went to the pub after work. Always 4 of us. Always had 3 beers and went home. Fucking hated that cunt. Hated that, but just get 1 round in, mate. Or just be like, don't include me. I'll buy my own. It's fine.
I'm going. I don't know when I'm going, but I'm going.
Did you say 17 or 17? I mean, it might as well have been the latter miniature studio, but it was 17, right? 17. I did, Degs. That's right. I did. I then went and got a coffee, as well as a chicken. So after I bought the round, I then went and got a coffee and a chicken Caesar wrap, and that was like 11 quid. I wouldn't mind. It's just a packet wrap and a pretty shit coffee.
So me and Jim Jam have just had a chat upstairs because we're trying to find a board game group with food and drink on a Saturday, and it's like finding rocking horse shit at the minute. And there's a cafe / pub / social thing in Southampton called Board in the City, and it is a fantastic idea. It's community led, and they're open late at night because the wraps. What you're making eyes at?
So Umbra, you think that's bad? I went out on a night out in London, bought 2 vodka and cokes and 2 pints of beer, £48.45.
Where? Was that one of the big clubs in London?
Just the 1 round, actually. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, Liz, carry on talking about the clubs you're trying to find.
Yeah, so it's called Board in the City, and it's a brilliant concept. I think it's been going since about 2016 or 2018, so it's still relatively new. Really popular, really friendly staff. They can't do enough for you, but it's just not quite hitting the spot, and it's really difficult to try and get an autistic person to say, what is the thing that's not hitting the spot?
You need
what is that thing?
We need a new big gaming hub presence in the South Coast, don't we? We do, yeah. Something super in secret.
So there's another place called Geek Retreat, which I think is like a national brand.
Geek Retreat's a franchise brand, yes.
And there's, again, really friendly, can't do enough for you. They're great with kids. Just doesn't quite hit the spot. And it's a thing. If I could bottle it and sell it, I'd probably be a millionaire before bedtime.
Lou sounds a bit echoey. Does she? All the levels are normal. You look good to me, Luce.
So we're still on the hunt for a board game group.
Well, don't worry, there'll be one opening, hopefully sometime soon.
Well, I'm not taking them anywhere tomorrow because a bus will be impossible to put them on. I think it's going to be 28 here tomorrow.
It's supposed to be 28 tomorrow, yeah.
28:30, yeah. So I'm not putting them on a bus tomorrow. We're staying in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Too hot. It was a place called McCluskey's in Kingston Thames. I've been there. I've been to McCluskey's. It is fucking expensive, actually, yeah. It is very expensive, McCluskey's. I've been to lots of bars and places in London because we used to go and visit the Chelsea pensioners. I was in the Forces thing, just as an excuse to get the piss afterwards. That is £48.45 for 4 drinks. I think I'd have asked him to put it back in the bottle at that point.
Paint at Dawn, a guy on TalkSport the other day said someone tried to charge him £9 for a pint of Diet Coke. I just go to the corner shop and get a 2 litre. Like,
This is
here we go.
this is exactly why we're having a bar in Super Secret Project. That's how we're making our money.
See, now I'm getting like the national average of Paint at Dawn said that £9 was nearly
that's what
passable.
so
we'll charge £6.
We're gonna make our money on the drinks. That's what we're gonna do. You want an ice cube? It's an additional £1.50. 2 ice cubes, you can have a discount, £2.50. Honestly.
And if you want it melted, that's £3.
Romance after years of marriage. You look good, Luce. Yeah, that's basically it, right? Adam Holmes says Ginger Steve. Ginger Steve got the train back from London today.
Yeah.
And he had some very tired feet because they wouldn't let him sit down, despite the fact that he looks pregnant. Smarbit, thank you for the 5. Thanks for the streams. Haven't been able to chat for a while, catch live for a while. Time to go back to the start. Morning from Australia. Morning, mate. How are you? Thanks for super chatting. You're a legend. Don't forget, 10% of our super chat revenue donated to charity every single month. Add it up at the end. Donate one big donation. You guys are amazing, so thank you.
Carl has asked, loose not drive or banned being from Cov?
She doesn't drive, no.
I tried to learn 3 times when I was 17 and I can't do it, but I'm getting the itch recently.
She's getting... all right, there's cream for that.
Yeah,
she
gotta get it all.
She tried to learn to drive when she was younger, and she used to work in a can we call it a bar?
What, the Harvester?
No,
or the Golden Cross?
No, the Golden Cross. Can we call it a bar?
It was a sticky bar.
It's a hive of scum and villainy, is what it is.
Sticky bar.
I mean, a sticky bar is the most polite way we can describe the Golden Cross in Coventry. If you're from Coventry and you know where the Golden Cross is, and you were there perhaps, hey, fucking Jesus, 15 odd years ago, 14 odd years ago, then you'll probably know the kind of place we're talking about, right?
I was the barmaid that everybody else was grunge or punk or steampunk. I worked in there with my bright yellow animal hoodie and my ripped jeans.
That's true. Yeah, that's
that
true.
was me. And I'd go, ooey!
Anyway, said pub used to close, said pub stroke mini kind of nightclubby kind of venue used to close at around 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning.
3.
And I used to, dive bars, the right word, Mark. Yeah, I used to go in there, have a couple of, maybe one beer and then a couple of cokes.
Yes, tap in, Holbrook's massive.
And then when she finished, I'd drive Luce home. Anyway, she was learning to drive. She'd had a fair few lessons. So one night, just as she finished, she came out and I handed her the keys and was like, you can drive us home. And she got very excited. And we didn't make it home before I made her pull over and I swapped back over. When you say straight over a roundabout, chat, you mean you go up and around and over the roundabout. What you don't do is literally go straight over the roundabout.
It was a blob in the road.
It's
it
also
wasn't a roundabout.
a massive concern when you say you need to stop at that red light. Which red light? The one back there that we've just gone through. That
yeah,
one.
I'll pay for that ticket. I'm sorry.
If you could, like, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, if you could just pull over on the left any minute, please. She's like, yeah, cool, what's up? Out. Fucking out. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever white-knuckled a passenger seat in all my life. It was my fucking car. Out.
Yeah, I tried 3 times. I couldn't do it then. I had too much going on in the background, but now I'm getting the itch for it. And I think I emailed 6 driving instructors, and the only one that got back to me had a 14-person wait list.
Yeah. Ultra Crepidarian says, my wife really struggled learning to drive and she finally passed, and an automatic is a lot easier. So when Luce originally was learning, it was a manual, and I've suggested that you probably just do an automatic. I mean, I only drive automatics nowadays anyway because it's just fucking lazy driving and I love it. If I want to drive hard, I get on my bike instead. So I've suggested that you just use the fucking, just drive an automatic. Stop with the fucking hearts. I don't want to see the hearts, all right? It's nonsense to me. Don't do that. There's several pubs in my local GW, including a gentleman's club. Oh, is there? If it's just a painted circle, it's fine to just drive over. It was not just a painted circle.
Blob in the road.
It was a raised
4 in the morning.
It was a raised blob in the road. If it's just a painted circle, then when you go over at the passenger seat, you don't do this. When you do that, that's not just a blob in the road, okay? It's not just a painted circle. That's a roundabout, okay? That's how that goes down. Right? How many emo kids does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They all sit in the dark.
So it's not that she's a bad driver, it's that you gave bad instructions, got it, and have no patience for smearing face.
Oh, I've missed you, Mandy. How are you?
Mandy. To be fair, my dad did the same. He drove to an abandoned car park and was like, right, let's just do some basic manoeuvres. And then I was doing the 10 and 2 and I was checking the wing mirror on his side and I saw him white knuckling and I was like, Dad, do you want me to swap back over? And he went, nope, nope, nope. You carry on, you're doing great. And then he never made himself available.
Yeah, weird that. We both did this, we both just fell foul of the same illness, it seems. Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yes, good times. One of the best rally drivers I've met once crashed because his navigator told him 90 right and he followed his instruction and went off. I mean, it's a bit different at that speed on a rally track, Pip, right? They're all blaming my direction. Stop with the fucking hearts and smiley faces, you fucking bunch of cunts. I don't like it. Stop it. Pack it in, right? There's several... Oh, we've read that one already. Back in Liverpool, there used to be a Yates's. It had sawdust on the floor, a proper spit and sawdust place. Wow. Some of the bar... This last Saturday, I did something that I haven't done for ages, actually. I met basically some very old school friends who I saw twice last year because of one of my closest friends' stag do and wedding. And that's the first time I'd seen them for about... Jesus Christ, about 10 plus years I hadn't seen them. And so this last Saturday, we decided to get together and have an evening meal out and a couple of beers again. And we're going to try and do it at more frequent intervals because we basically didn't see each other for like 15 fucking years. You know how it's like, chat. You go to school or whatever, you grow up and join the real world, you end up with a family, you move to different areas, you just don't see everybody, right? That's fine. It happens. I'm okay with it, right? But when you then get back together with these people and you, what's the word I'm looking for? Reminisce over things. Like, it's actually really quite nice and it was quite enjoyable. So we got together this last Saturday. We went for an Indian. We had some beers. And then after we'd had the Indian and beers, it was like 9:30, 10. Maybe about 9:30. And people were like, what are we going to do? We're going to go home or what? I was like, well, I can go home. I looked at the time. This is how old I'm getting. I'm like, probably got another hour in me, like at 10:30 at night. Like, Jesus Christ, Grandad. Anyway, I was like, probably got another hour in me. Where we were in Southampton in this Indian, I'm like, okay, just go find a pub. Because we finished eating. It's not fair to keep sitting there if you're not actually buying anything, right? Let's go find a pub. And there was just up on the right-hand side, there was a bar. So we approached the bar. And as we approached it, I discovered it is a Wetherspoons. Now that was
like a live Jeremy Kyle.
That was an interesting social situation, that one to walk into.
Yeah.
That was I still can't completely comprehend what I witnessed in said Wetherspoons. It is literally like walking around a fucking zoo. The amount of different specimens and creatures that occurred in Wetherspoons. The first thing that hit me was the overwhelming stench of spilt spirits on the carpet.
Yeah.
Right? That was the first. I was like, oh my, this isn't a very. So we got to the bar.
It's because nobody smokes in a pub anymore.
No.
So
we got to the bar. My friend said, what do you want to drink? I was like, anything bottled, quite frankly, because no one could have done anything to that yet. So I have a bottled something. So they got me a Desperados. And but honestly, babe, Jesus Christ. There was things packed into skin-tight leather that flat shouldn't have been. And I'm not entirely sure how they got into said skin-tight leather. As I said to you this morning, I could only envisage Ross from Friends in the bathroom scene, right?
Yeah, all the talcum powder.
I'm like, I look at it like, are you wearing that? Or was it fucking spray on? There was elderly women, and I mean women that make you and I look young, that clearly have decided that underwear is not for them. And it's fine, apart from the fact that they're both waving past the belly button as they walk, and I'm like, what? It's fucking, it was awful, right? There was younger girls in there. I don't understand this trend either, chat, right? I don't understand this trend at all. There was younger girls in there who literally looked like someone... Remember the old fucking football pumps where you pump up your ball? It looks like they've stuck the needle under their lip and just pumped it 50 fucking times. Up like this. I'm like, what is that? Is that a fucking bumper? I don't understand why you've got a crash barrier on your face. It was fucking horrendous. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe at all. Unbelievable, right? That sounds like a Walmart.
Did you push your panic alarm?
I was like, we should back out gently, but at that point we were too deep in to go and find a table. Honestly. Horrendous experience. Horrendous experience. The old pub where the landlord would play on the piano you were trusted to pour your own beers. I mean, I should never be trusted to do that, to be honest with you. I'm a conscious objector to Wetherspoons. Won't go in. Honestly, by the time we got there, I was like, oh, it's fucking Wetherspoons. If we go and look for another bar now, we're going to lose. I didn't really want to. I'm kind of glad I did, just so I could go in and kind of experience that. But fuck me, I didn't, not again. Not another time. Was it called the Slaughtered Lamb? It was not, no, but it probably should have been, Dex. Tim, thank you for the gifted 5. Look at you, you're not doing it. You're doing it tonight. 67, I've told you, if we get to 350 gifted memberships, then I will give Cass a reach around. No, I said I'll make him a mod.
Aaron Scott says, oh man, I feel you. I have a teenage daughter and I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing?
I'll tell you one thing from that experience in Wetherspoons. Two things actually. First of all, they're kind of related. Apparently.
Yeah.
And it might be a COVID thing, I guess. But apparently, nowhere sells upper underwear for women anymore.
Bras?
Bras are gone, apparently. They're out now, babe. You have missed the boat. They're gone.
Oh, I should put mine in a museum then, because I've still got some.
And trust me, it didn't matter whether they were 18 or 80. They were gone.
Okay. No
matter what age you look at, no matter what age you consider when you go 18 to 80, as a bloke sat in a pub drinking a beer, this is the worst part, you don't know where to fucking look. Because you go, oh my god, oh, what the fuck? I think you're just like looking at the wall like, haven't wallpapered it in a while. Paint's flaking.
Oh, they've got damp.
Paint's flaking, and then you gently come back. Oh no, still looking at the wall. Still looking at the wallpaper. Like, it's horrendous, right? That's the first part. The second part of it is, oh my god, I am so fucking glad I've got 2 boys.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Jesus Christ. Because I honestly think that if I had a daughter who was the age of some of these young girls and they came down the stairs, I'm like, fucking around, back up.
Finish getting dressed, please.
Get the jog pants on. You're not going out the house looking like that. That would be me, right? Honestly.
Me and my dad chatted about this because when I was 18 and nightclubbing, I would go out in like 6-inch stiletto heels.
Ye saw that in NZ and in London, very few women wearing bras. I thought that was normal for you.
No,
guys.
I think this is a new thing. Like, Laura's in chat, so over bras. This is definitely a movement right now. Women are apparently,
yeah.
There is medical science to suggest that it's supposed to be better for you. Apparently. I feel like that was a male doctor. I feel like that was a bloke who went, it's better for you.
I think it's because where the wire sits on the breast tissue, the tissue gets affected, and then it's not as plump or whatever, so the boob droops. So I think what they're referring to is that your boobs kind of hold up on their own if you don't wear a bra because you're not constantly stifling that muscle group.
See, Lara says bras are the worst. Glad they're on the out. This is a thing. This is a movement going on right now.
Bras are horrible. Like if you're quite well endowed, they'll cut into you and they'll actually draw blood because wired bras, they're not really. I don't know. It's difficult to say. Each boob is different. Even if you own 2, they're not identical. They're different. And bras are uncomfortable. I don't know if there's ever been a design of a bra that's actually comfortable all day. Every season.
I'm just gonna start going full commando.
You do that, babe. You do that.
Full commando with proper shorts.
Oh, do you promise?
Yeah. Well, it's only the bollocks you're gonna see dangling. Let's be honest. Even in this weather, that's all you're gonna see. It's gonna be like old grandpa from fucking.
Stop it!
From what's it called?
Oh!
From Jackass. That's what it's gonna be like.
Stop it!
Honestly, I'm happy with the no bra movement, says Umbra. My boobs don't hold up on their own, says Ozzy. Amazing. How many of you, I'm conscious there isn't a million women in chat right now, and clearly you're under no obligation to tell us, but how many of you have joined the free boob movement? FBM.
The Front Bum Club.
Well, yeah, women are revolting, right? I didn't know this was a thing, but I was like, and I mentioned it today, I was like, why are so many people just not wearing bras now? Because as a guy, this is the other thing as well, right? So although I am glad we've got boys, I feel like growing up in the world now as a guy is actually quite hard. Because they're all not wearing fucking bras. And if you clock it, And you, just as a glance, I'm going, pervert. Like, all right. Like, I mean, it was pointing at me. What do you expect me to do? That's why I'm looking at the wallpaper now and the paint again.
I do feel bad because where do you look as a bloke? Because naturally, you get accused of being predatory for not predatory behaviour. I really feel sorry for
Lara. Look, free boob movement for the win. Look, Soups has said I've joined the free boob movement. There you go.
Luce is right. Your chest muscles get weak when they don't need to work. That's why I do bench presses and other exercises. Wireless bras are good, Luce. You should look into some. Comfortable too.
Oh, don't worry. Being quite athletic and ex-dancer and everything, the rack was holding up on its own. It's the children that ruined me. Our lovely, beautiful, gorgeous boys have stolen my body and they won't give it back.
That's I didn't know this was becoming a thing, but it's definitely making life out in public more difficult.
Yeah, but then even women now are kind of. So I
Ozzy, the eyes, Liam. You look at the eyes.
Yeah, they're up here.
Yeah, that's what you do. Is once you're walking down the street with a woman who knows she's got no bra on, Ozzy, is you just maintain eye contact.
Yeah,
no
that's
blinking.
Better. That's definitely better. Or just get your phone out and walk. I'd risk running into a lamppost over being accused of being predatory.
That's what you do.
Just do that. Go to A&E with several bumps on my head.
I'll join the free move movement. Amazing. Oh my god, I didn't know this was a thing now.
I didn't know. But then I'm not really mixing.
This is a risky thing to say with a wife sat there. I kind of noticed it in Wetherspoons that night, and I was like, this is fucking awkward.
Depends on the situation. You can go braless and no one will notice. You can wear pasties or thicker clothes, but if the clothing is thin or shows too much, then yeah, bra goes on.
There's a woman walking through London today, right, with a white semi-see-through top on and no bra.
Oh dear.
At that point, every man who is a red-blooded man with a drink in front of them is just sat like this. They're just this. It's like they're praying to the beer gods. You all right? How you doing? You good? That's how it goes now. That's what it's like for us. That's all we can do. It's not safe to look anywhere now, chat. It's not safe to look anywhere. This is why we play tabletop hobbies, because you're like, I'm looking at models. I'm looking at models. That's all I'm looking at, right? Jesus. Cass, I did promise everyone that if we got to 250 new members, you could be a mod, but it's not happening, mate. You're on 67, so you fucked it, right? It's because you're late as well, that's why. Oh my god, I've noticed on Instagram I approve, says Ben. See, now this.
I personally wouldn't leave the house without a bra.
This is now 40k after dark, you see. This is a traditional 40. This is where it was all beer and banter. This is 250 people watching us talk about the free boob movement.
Yeah.
Women are revolting.
Front bum club.
Front bum club. Trust me, I'm a nerd. I didn't look. Sat like that with a table wobbling. Says Daddy Deadpool. All right, horrific.
Escafe. If you get accused of being a predator, just shout "wrong." Try again.
So the thing is as well though is I have been told, I have been informed, it has been pointed out to me on a number of occasions that people have considered me a intimidating person to be around anyway.
No.
It's even worse if I'm like that with eye contact. Or just staring down at my beer. It doesn't make it better. So, you know, I don't feel like I can shout that back at them. I'm late, you're going to demob me. No, that's instead because you're amazing, right?
Saw plenty of those when we were there. My husband makes sure to mention how he was enjoying all the beautiful sights every time he saw some boobs.
I'm sure that didn't get old at all, did it, Mandy? At any point. It's a great knobhead filter. Find the guys that can't cope with boobs. Oh my god. Anyway, that was awkward moments that we had in Wetherspoons as well. And like I said, in Wetherspoons, there is no age discrimination for people that are joining this movement either. Like I think
nipples are for everyone.
There was a couple of women that were tripping over him. Quite frankly, it's fucking horrendous, right? Like to be fair, right? I obviously
Only just joined the stream. so I may be way off base, but surely you should always just look at the most interesting thing in the room, whatever that may be. Embarrassed smiley face.
That's a problem though, awful gamer TJ. That's what gets us called predators. Anyway, Ozzy, thank you for the 5. You still struggle with where to look when playing Slash. Absolutely. Thank you for the 10, TJ. You're a legend. You guys are all amazing. But it's just, but to be clear, so obviously, as a red-blooded male, I noticed those things more often. But the men in there were also fucking strange creatures as well. Or right, since when was the mullet coming back?
Yeah, I've noticed the mullet's coming back.
How's that ever been a trend before, and why is it becoming a trend again?
I noticed that probably about 2 years ago. A couple of mullets. I thought, oh, okay. This means I can get my rah-rah skirt out soon. I'm here for it.
Jonathan Richardson, this is all right. This is one of the worst places for where to put your eyes as a man, right? Have you been to a gym? Some of the shit they wear goes inside the arse. It's ridiculous. Some of what
girls or boys?
Some of what girls wear in the gym is quite frankly perverse.
Isn't there a rule about when you use the equipment, like
wipe it down? They're going to need to, yeah.
And
to be dressed.
Yeah. Isn't that a rule?
I feel like there's certain times of day you can walk in the gym and there's just a group of men like fucking wolves walking around sniffing benches. I thought that's going to be a thing nowadays with how much they don't fucking wear. Honestly, it's bad. It's mental. I got a mullet. Sorry, Liam. When did that become a thing again? I live in Spain. The mullet never left. Says Egan Doyle. Where's that? When was that? Bad trend, says Asbo. Yeah, absolutely. Mick the Machine, thank you for gifting 5. You fucking dancer. That is with Tim's 5. I think I already did Tim's 5, actually. So thank you so much, Mick. You absolute fucking legend. I appreciate you all. You guys are keeping the machine turning, keeping the dream alive. Thank you so much, people. You're beautiful. I don't think you can really call anything that's becoming a thing in Wetherspoons of all places as coming back or a trend. I don't know, Seeps. There's a lot of people in there and they're all following the same trend, right? And honestly, if it wasn't for the music, you'd think it was a fucking scene out of The Walking Dead sometimes as well.
I used to love, when I was a barmaid, I would love working and kind of people watching at the same time, because when I worked in a pub that wasn't quite in the sticks, definitely wasn't the city centre, and people would get super dressed up just to come to that pub, I'd find it really interesting, because we were kind of like a stop off at the pub before you go home to your wife for dinner pub. We weren't the filter to the nightclubs at all.
Yeah.
But then being at the Golden Cross was in the city centre, so you'd see all the bells and whistles and everything coming in. It was great fun.
It was an experience. Yeah. It's an experience I have no desire to repeat anytime soon. But it was in fact an experience. It's just, I don't understand. It's like this weird, like I said, this right, I'm being incredibly sexist right now, right? I'm a straight male, so this is the things I notice. Why do they feel this need to overinflate every top lip? And whoever in the female world ever thought...
lips?
Oh, it's just more pronounced on the top, isn't it? Yeah, they end up with like some weird fucking duck-billed platypus. And like, which woman in the world, who was the first person to go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shave my fucking eyebrows off.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get a thick, straight block marker. And I'm going to draw that back on. Right? Someone did that first. The worst part about it is, someone else went, that looks good.
Don't be jealous just because your eyebrows are shit.
My eyebrows are beautiful, thank you. Absolutely stunning. Right? I am the peak of adult male attraction. You tell me every day.
Yeah.
Zena, thank you for the gifted 20. You're a legend. I love you dearly. Puts us on 92. We might actually hit our goal of 100 members of stream. 8 to go. 8 to go. Thank you so much, Zena. You're a legend and I love you. You and 40k Medic are champions of the channel. Thank you so much, people. See, this is the thing, right? Here's an interesting thing, right? It's now been an hour since we've been streaming. Oh, hang on.
It is a shame that Wetherspoons is the only cheap pub around these days. It is over a $5 for drink in the other pubs where I live.
I mean, Alex,
Yeah.
everywhere. Thank you for the 10, man. You're a legend. Everywhere, man. Everywhere. Like I said, like £17 for 2 pints of beer and a cider today is...
That's crazy.
I remember I went... One of the first times I went for went for beers in London properly was one of the first times I visited the Chelsea pensioners. That was after my first tour of Afghanistan, and so it would have been in 2009. Okay, so we're talking 14 years ago, chat. To be fair, right? And obviously inflation happens, but 14 years ago, things were cheaper than they are now. And we went to our first pub, which was in Covent Garden, and I can't remember the name of it, but it has a balcony that you can drink on. So if you recognise the area, you might be able to remind me of the pub's name. The second someone says it, I'm going to go, oh yeah, that one. But you go in downstairs, there's a bar in front of you, you can go upstairs, there's a seating area. I went up to the bar, and I remember I had 20 quid in my wallet. I just had 20 quid in my wallet. So I went up there, and there's 4 of us, and we were in a round, yeah, beer, yeah, but so went up there, 4 pints of lager, right? 4 pints of lager. Poured the 4 pints, give them to me. I reached in my wallet, got my £20 note out, because down this way at that time it was like £3.80 a pint or something. Got my £20 note out, and he was like, it's £22, please, mate. I went, what? It was £22. It's like £5.50 a pint. Like, how the fuck is it £2 more than where I'm from? It's the same fucking beer. I had to get my card out. I had to pay for it on card. What the fuck's that all about? Oh, forgive me, TJ. Thank you for the 5.
I get there needs to be some boundaries, but as a close friend once said, ships were made wood and man of iron, but now ships are iron and man poop. I hate I can't teach my boys to defend themselves properly.
Okay.
We had this conversation the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm gonna possibly tread on some fucking toes here, but I'm drinking mead and I don't give a shit. Okay? Adrian, you teach your boys to defend themselves exactly as you think, as their parent, they should defend themselves. Society currently is fucking mental. We're not going to dive into politics. We're not going to dive into that stuff. I'm not going to bore you with my opinions and views right now. But society is mental, and there is not necessarily a right way or a wrong. Well, there is obviously wrong ways, but there isn't necessarily a right way to teach your kids, your boys, how to defend themselves properly. Right? Just you do what you think's right. It's exactly what I'm doing with my kids. Because ultimately, that's all any parent can ever do. Any parent, all they can ever do is do what they think is right. Okay? So, I wouldn't... When people say, I can't teach my boys to defend themselves properly, that's because they're worried, essentially, about what society is going to say. Or how other people are going to react. And I think that to some extent, as a world now, to some extent, we spend too long worrying about what other people are going to say. One of the reasons why recently we've gone for a complete flip on the channel, and I now fucking call out trolls immediately. And I leave their comments on YouTube, and sometimes I reply, or sometimes they're in chat, and I'll tell them literally to fuck off live on stream. You guys have seen it, right? Because I'm like, fuck it. No, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, just because you think I'm wrong doesn't make me wrong. And if a person, I've said this forever, right? If a person has a difference of opinion to me and they tell me that, hey, I think you're wrong because of this, and we have an adult grown-up conversation, we can finish that conversation both completely disagreeing with each other, and it's still mature and it's still grown up, and I'm going, I respect your view. I don't agree with it, but I respect your view. That's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. Unfortunately, we do currently live in a society right now where I tell you my view, you tell me your view, and then you get so fucking aggressive and angry with your view until I cower and bow to your view. That's not how it should be.
You guys don't have boxing studios or karate studios there? Boys can just beat each other up and get fit at the same time.
We did, yeah. Martial arts is... I did martial arts as a kid, and it's one of the best things I ever did as a kid. When my boys have done taekwondo for a while, when they're a little bit older, I'd love to gently encourage them to go back into some form of martial art. Great discipline, great exercise, teaches them to defend themselves. Okay, so I'm 100% behind that, right? And it's something that I want them to do. I won't force them to do it if they really don't want to, right? But that's something that martial arts is a great way of dealing with things, right? Have some common sense too. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, for me, I'm a liberal, but also have common sense. This is the other thing. Like, if someone's a liberal and someone's not, that doesn't mean you suddenly have to hate each other. It's like saying I like Apple, you like Android, we're enemies. Like, why can't people have differences of opinions right now and just discuss those differences of opinions? And often what really baffles me as well is if my opinion, say I met Luce and we weren't married and we just bumped into each other and we were talking about something. And let's say it's something political, because that typically gets people the most wound up. If we have a sensible, right, in-depth conversation about whatever the issue is that we're talking about, there is the possibility, through just having a grown-up, mature conversation, talking about our points, our views, what we think, there is the possibility, actually, that one of us might go, Oh, okay. That's interesting. Never thought of it that way. You might even walk away from the conversation and be like, I really haven't thought of it that way. I'm kind of a bit like I'm kind of a bit torn on it now. Maybe I think differently. Maybe there's there's some facts behind this. Maybe there's some logic behind this. Maybe actually my views are changing because we've had a mature, grown-up conversation, and it's not been aggressive, and it's not been fucking swearing at each other, and you are a fucking racist, or you are a this, or you are, or whatever the word might be. I've thrown that one out there because that's one of the most shocking words people can use to describe a person, right? But what I've also found is in the flip situation, you have the same conversation and one person gets incredibly aggressive about their view. The other person at that point instantly switches to defensive mode. Instantly. At that point, they're gonna block off now. You're getting aggressive with me. I'm done listening to you now because you're not approaching this from a calm, logical, reasonable place. So I'm now going to clam up and I'm not going to listen to you. And I find if you go with that aggressive approach, my view is right, your view is wrong, you are significantly less likely to convert any other people about your view than if you were to just approach it as a grown adult person and have a conversation. Do you know what I think? If someone came at you now and said, you're fucking raising your boys wrong and you should be doing this, your response would be, fuck you. I'm doing what I think's right.
Yeah, although it's taken me a long time to get there.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think men get judged as harshly as women get judged when they're caring for kids. Not even mums and dads. I've seen when like the bigger sister is taking care of the younger sister, or it's been an auntie or whatever, the second a man is in charge of kids, oh, look at him. Isn't he good? Are you fucking kidding me? He's doing the bare minimum.
One of Lucy's favourites, chat, right? One of Lucy's favourites is when she goes off somewhere to do something,
yeah,
and they'll say to Lucy, where are the kids? And she'll go, oh, they're with Liam. Oh, is he babysitting?
And I go, no, he's parenting.
She gets really, really... Us versus them is an extremely dangerous mindset. It is cool, Gem, indeed, but I feel to a point, society's kind of... I feel like it's moving more that way now, which is dangerous and it's bad because then people, like I say, people become clammed up, they become shut off to other people's points of views and opinions, and only with having that adult conversation and discussing things can we ever really truly move forward as a society in general, right? And can we help people understand, and we can help people see other people's perspectives and point of views. And I think ultimately, anybody out there who has a mindset that everybody should just agree with them, and I'm aware that Degs is saying this in chat, and I know he's joking because I know Degs very well, and who's going to tell me now in chat, I'm not joking, but anyone who thinks that everybody should just agree with them, I mean, there's a man that did that before.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the kind of person that, we need around. Like, that's a dangerous mindset. You should just agree with me and my opinions are right is a very dangerous mindset, Anyway, thank you everybody for the donations, your heroes. Big Bad Pit Gamer, thank you for the 5. Have you seen in 2 weeks' time, Magic the Gathering is releasing Lord of the Rings set? Also, who's playing who next week and which armies? I haven't seen that, but there is definitely an excuse for me to buy more Magic cards that I've never used, so thank you for that on Big Bad Pit Gaming. Luce will be super happy about that one. In terms of who's playing who next week, I can tell you who's playing who. What I can't tell you is the armies. But I can't tell you who's playing who. We currently have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday game. The only one that is possibly in danger is Thursday, and the only reason why it's possibly in danger because I'm not here. And if the lads last minute go, actually we're not comfortable, bow out, it's too much pressure, I'm not going to blame them for that one, right? They're perfectly okay. So currently as it stands, Monday is Big Bad Chris, Posh Joe versus Joe, right? Tuesday is me versus Joe. Wednesday, I think, is Chris versus me. That's right. And then Thursday is Joe versus Paddy. I think. There you go. That's the best I can give you. But thank you for the 5. David, thank you for the 5. I knew there was a reason I watch you, Liam. I'm learning about the game. And you have a rounded approach to life. And Luce seems wonderful. Luce is wonderful.
No.
She is.
It has taken me a while to get there with the whole off you fuck if you don't like the way I parent. Because...
When did we get to a world where it's perfectly okay for you to go up to another person and just tell them that they're flat doing it wrong?
So I've had this experience actually happen to me. We were sitting near, I'll call it a beach, because when you say beach, people think of sand. It wasn't a sand. It was like a grassy verge, and then the water started. So it's lovely, but it's a bit tricky to call it a beach, even though it's known as a beach. we were sitting there. James was eating a ham sandwich. Really normal sandwich in this house because we're meat eaters. I was looking at Ben because Ben was trying to chase a bumblebee. James was having his sandwich, and another child came over and said, "Do you like eating a dead pig in between your 2 pieces of bread?" And honestly, I turned around so slowly, I must have looked possessed. Like, did that just come out?
The shame is James at 8 is going to not know how to respond to that right now, unfortunately.
So he looked at me and he said, "Is ham dead pig?" And I went, "Yes, it is, darling." And he was like, "Oh." And I was so cross at her.
Yeah.
And I walked her back to her mum to have a right go at her mum. And her mum was like, "Oh, this gentle parenting, darling. What we're doing, darling." And I'm a mum of boys where you have to cut through the bullshit pretty fucking quickly because they'll stop listening.
But even parenting techniques is strictly a case-by-case basis because children are all different.
But the mum defended the child.
No, I know. And it's bollocks, and she shouldn't have done.
And you know when you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, by the way, David, thank you for your first ever super chat. I forgot to mention that. But this is the thing. Like, people will tell you you're parenting wrong. You should be parenting like this. Like, well, actually, every child's different.
So in comes the vegan brief. And I'm sat there like, how have I got here?
No.
I was starting my day going to the beach with a picnic, and now I'm somehow signed on to a vegan seminar. How is this?
I need to add a caveat here as well, chat, right? Because I'm about to open a business as well, and I have a channel that has an audience. I need to add this caveat in very, very clearly, and I definitely 100% speak for Luce and myself when I say this. We are 100% inclusive, okay? We do not give a flying fuck what is your race, religion, creed, sexual orientation, preferences, or how you like to dress on the weekend. I don't care. Couldn't give a fuck if you're a free boober or not. Not interested. Doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. All I give a fuck about, are you interested in the hobby? Do you like the hobby? And do you want to come and play 40k? Or any other hobby for that matter. That's all I care about. The only time that's ever going to change is when you turn up as a thing that's different to me and tell me why I'm wrong and you're right. At which point, I'm probably going to fucking throat punch you. Simple as that. Tough. If you're happy to have an open discussion about it and have a conversation about it, I'm down for that. I can sit with a beer and talk to you all fucking night long, happily. You get aggressive with me and tell me that I'm wrong and I'm hateful and I'm evil, you're gonna get throat punched. It's as simple as that.
I don't even know how it's happened. I now have my own little Zen group on a Friday because just like the board game cafe, we were going to lots of different groups and they just weren't quite hitting the spot, and then we'd be sort of, saying the word triggered is not right, but there's no other way to say it. But James would be kind of triggered, and then his tics would start, and we'd get home kind of nervous wrecks, thinking, I thought we had a great time. I don't know what's happening right now. So I made my own little Zen group, and we all parent so differently because each kid is individual. Add Zen into that, and there's a whole other dynamic. I'm not for a second going to go and tell another parent how to parent their child. That's their circus, their monkeys. It's nothing to do with me.
But we're going deep now, chat. But we've bred now an entire generation of people that are so self-entitled that they just genuinely think that everyone should just listen to them and cater to them all the time. And we shouldn't cater to one type of person or one group of people all the time. Really, we should all be catering to each other all the time.
But all I wanted to say to this mum about the ham sandwich was, can you not? Pretty much. If you're vegan, great. Have a blast. Knock your socks off. We're not. Yeah. I'm not about to shove my son's ham sandwich in your daughter's face.
No.
So please don't shove your vegan opinions in my face.
I'm not going to shove my ham sandwich in your face.
No.
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 There you go. It's quote of the night. I'm not going to shove my ham sandwich in your face.
Money. Don't forget to add that interest, Liam. You need to get paid so you can feed your kids some of that delicious dead animal meat. Also feed Eddie. He's too short. I'm guessing he's 4 feet 11 inches.
4 feet 11? You just made him 4 feet 10 taller than he actually is. Biggie hugs. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You fucking hero. Look at you people. We've actually gone over 100 for the night. You lot are incredible. Thank you so much. Look at that.
It took me a long time to be brave enough to say to other parents, can you just piss off? I'm not interested. We're not the tribe for you. Off you go.
Yeah.
It took me, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself that it took me that long because I thought it would take me sooner.
But okay. Let's bring it back to YouTube because we're talking on a YouTube channel, right? This is something that has taken me a long time. You know me. I can be quite aggressive. People can find me quite intimidating. with YouTube, for the longest time, when someone would just put a necky comment on or a snarky comment, I would either just flat leave it and I wouldn't say anything, but I'd carry it for half a day, or I'd delete it and I'd still carry it for half a day. Because even with a thick skin, sometimes someone can say something that just plucks at that little nerve. Sometimes you go, oh, you're a dickhead, I don't care. But sometimes it just plucks at that little nerve and it really riles you up, right? This was case in point the other week, okay, when we did the rant about 4-year-old and someone tweaked at a nerve. Now, I'll give the person credit where credit's due. They did leave after I told them to pick up their shit and fuck off. They did then resubscribe. They super chat, became a member, and they basically apologized. Like, you know, I wasn't trying to, which is like, and I get it. And I was so angry at the time. I probably overreacted slightly, to be fair. But I'm so done with allowing people in their mum's basements with no pants on, with a keyboard, being allowed to try and bully me as a fucking 36-year-old grown-ass man. I'm not having that anymore, quite frankly. So when he said, you shouldn't tell people to shit in a box and send it to Games Workshop because people are actually doing it, now you're inciting hate on Games Workshop's customer service. Like, fuck off. Here's the other thing, chat, that I'm a massive fan of, and something that seems to be going away right now, but fuckers need to be accountable for their own actions.
Yeah.
You cannot hide behind excuses. You cannot hide behind, Liam told me to do it, or I listened to an Eminem song, or I played Grand Theft Auto. No. You, every one of you, all of you in chat right now, us here, you are accountable for your own actions. Now, my kids, both of my kids, and I'm a little bit more open about this than I used to be, both of my kids are basically somewhere on the autistic spectrum, and we're pretty convinced both of them have got ADHD as well, right? In discovering these things about my children, I have essentially discovered at the exact same time that I also have both of those things. And for some people that have known me for a long time, they're going to go, oh, shock horror. Like, that's not news, but I didn't know. And I didn't really know, like, some of these things were combined, or some of these things were linked, and some of these things were issues, I would say, that I've struggled with for my life, basically. Okay, so ADHD is a big one. ADHD is hand in hand with a thing called hyperfocus forever, and for example, and if you know me and you've known me for a long time, hyperfocus is something I've always had. And the amount of times Luce will ask me to do something and I'll be like, yeah, cool, I'll do that, and I'll start working on something here, and fucking 4 hours later she'll be like, have you done that thing? I'm like, oh. And I've lost time because I'm hyper-focused on that thing, right? So that's something the channel's a case in point, actually. Hyper-focusing on the channel is not necessarily a bad thing because we've made loads of improvements, but it's definitely one of those things that I do, okay? So I discovered throughout this whole process...
Don't shove your ham sandwich in my face. Loose 2023.
Quote of the year. That's a t-shirt.
Welcome.
That's a t-shirt coming soon, right? So I went through this journey of discovery and I learned these things about myself, right? And, you know, it's not... Sometimes it, like, I feel like I've genuinely felt this over the course of the last 18 months. Most of this stuff, by the way, has happened whilst I've been doing this job. Sometimes it's you just feel overwhelming sense of relief, and you go, oh my God, it makes sense why I feel the way I do sometimes. So for example, I'm time anxious, right? I get wild anxiety about time. Yes, I'm late a lot on stream nowadays. Do it on purpose. So I was a minute late today because Umbra said, I bet he's late again. So I did it on purpose.
So that's probably PDA.
Yes, but otherwise I have time anxiety. So I went to London today and I needed to catch trains to get into London, and I needed to be in London by a certain time. And I cannot tell you how much that stressed me the fuck out. And then at one point when we sat in Badminton and I had a cider, I suddenly have an overwhelming sense of tiredness. Because the stress is gone, the adrenaline's calmed down, the anxiety's gone, now I'm really fucking tired.
Yeah,
right?
Your cup is full.
Then at one point I went on the tube and got to Waterloo to come back down south on the South Western Railway line, and it was like 5:02 and my train left at 5:15, and I couldn't for the life of me find out what fucking platform it was on, and my anxiety went through the roof again because I'm like, I'm going to miss my train. Does it matter? I had an open-ended return. Just catch the fucking next one. Made no difference. But my anxiety peaked again. And these are all things, like I said, these are all things that I've learned about over the course of the last 18 months, 2 years. And it's given me lots of answers, which is really, really good. And it's also helped me identify when some of these things are happening. And the amount of times now I'll start down that hyper-focus path and I'll go, whoa, stop. Because I'm going to lose myself in this now for the next 3 hours. Okay. Now, my kids are the reason why I've discovered this, right? I've said that already. However, one of the big things we will be teaching them, and we are teaching them, and I'm very, 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 very much an advocate of this, right? These conditions. Would you call it conditions? Do they have
Um,
borderline disabilities? I wouldn't call them full-blown disabilities. but
I think of them as considerations that they can move in social circles. Will it end well? Probably not.
yeah, no.
So it's a consideration.
Yeah, so if we call it condition, consideration, disability, some people will call it disability, right? All those things. Knowing that they have them is one thing, right? And we're making also them aware of, hey, you do this because of this, right? And it's okay. That's why you do that thing. One of the things I'm making sure they learn, because this is something I'm a firm believer of, these conditions, ADHD, autism, etc., they can be the reason that something happens, the reason why you do something. That's fine. It can be the reason. What it can't be is the excuse. And that's where I have a problem modern day. The amount of people that will use anything, something, as a flat excuse to behave like a cunt. It's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. There is a social kind of etiquette that I think we are losing and should still be there. And sometimes the way these people behave, and they'll go, oh, it's my ADHD. Oh, it's because I'm autistic. No, I'm sorry. That's you behaving like an arsehole and using an excuse. So, I don't know how we got on this conversation, but there you go.
I think that's a very tricky conversation in itself, because there's any time I plan a day with the boys, I have two versions of the same day.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes of Ben waking up, I know which version of the day is going to go ahead. And it's really difficult. James being 10, he is honestly outstanding. Whenever people say to me, oh, Ben's so cute, I say, oh, no, you're looking at the wrong boy. You need to look at James. He's incredible. And he is, when people say autistic people struggle with empathy, no, that's not the case for Jim Jam. He is way too sensitive sometimes. Empathy is not something he's lacking. He is so hard on himself because he's always considering other people all the time over himself. It's really difficult when you have a 5-year-old who is kind of wading through the shit show of infant ASD and ADHD with the low self-esteem, because there's a language barrier, there's a comprehension barrier. You need them to grow up a bit so you can say, right, the reason you do this is for this, so we need to get to the root problem.
Yeah.
But I need you to understand your root problem before we can tackle it together.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So
you're kind of walking around with a 5-year-old dickhead until they're about 8.
But okay, perfect. But you've just proven my point completely, though.
But then I have to be like, I'm so sorry. There's autism here. I'm so sorry.
But no, but you've still proven my point. What you don't realise is you've just completely agreed with me, right? You've just completely agreed with what I've just said, okay? Because what you've said is he'll do it, and then I need him to do it so I can work out how we tackle it.
But he's still being a knob.
But he's also 5, right?
Yeah.
So there is a degree of, okay, he's 5. As a parent, what you're doing is you're going, he's done this thing and he's been a knob, so I'm going to say sorry. And I know that he's doing this because of his ADHD, for example, right? Mm-hmm. But you haven't left it there. That's the difference. You've gone, I'm sorry, like, I'm really sorry, it's not acceptable. So number one, you've already labelled it as unacceptable because you've apologised for it, so you know it's wrong, right? You know what the way he's behaving. You said it yourself as well, he's behaving like a dickhead, okay? So you've already gone, this is sociably unacceptable, what he's just done and how he's behaved. You've then said,
I think my first super chat didn't come through. On a happy non-10th edition note, I was able to get the new Seraphim box. I absolutely love the new sculpts, and I even got a Carnosaur coming tomorrow.
Oh, I missed that, Scott, because it's far. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't read it out. I'm so sorry. Also, James said, just got in. What have I missed? Have people gone mental over partially released rules yet? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Chat's moving so fast. I've missed those super chats, people. I'm very, 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 very sorry. I love you dearly. You're amazing. Sorry, Scott. Thank you for the extra 10. That sounds awesome. The new Seraphim box, I was very tempted by that. So... but yeah, anyway, back to the... Thank you, Scott, for the 10 as well, and thank you for the 5 earlier. Zena, I've just seen your 5 as well. I'll get to it, I promise you. So, okay, so number one, you've identified it's unacceptable because you've apologised for it. You've said he's acting like a knob, okay? So,
yeah.
so you've...
I love him.
So you've... Okay, but you've identified the reason. You've apologised for it, but you've not necessarily said it's an excuse because at that point you've gone, I needed to do it, so I know how to tackle it.
But I see it as an excuse because I've let him walk into a social situation where I've gone... Potentially, I'm going to have to pull him out but we've worked on this skill and this skill, and I have reminded him, and I've said, if you go in there, then remember we need to do this and this. Yes, mummy. Okay. You know where I am. And then it's happened. So I've let it unravel before me, because half of it I need it to unravel so I can go, what did we work on?
Exactly.
But also the other parent doesn't know I know what's about to happen.
So to add in then, to maybe to clarify slightly further, like it's a short-term excuse that you will work on so it doesn't become a long-term excuse.
Oh, but they all feel so long-term.
Of course they do, absolutely.
The day feels long-term.
But then this is my issue, right? I feel like we live in a world and a society where it's very easy to go, here's the thing I have, whatever it might be, there's my excuse, now you can't be shitty with me for my behaviour. Not good. That's not good enough in society in general. Jonah, thank you for the 5. I am the same. I do not care how someone else chooses to live their life, but do not come at me and try to shove it down my throat. Poor 40k medic.
Dandy Deadpool. As someone without kids, how do you know the difference between it being an autism thing or just being a 5-year-old dickhead thing?
I mean, you don't. Sometimes it's very clear. Sometimes you just don't.
I swear to God, there's a little glint in his eye where it's like, don't do it.
There is,
and you know that's the 5-year-old.
there is much like influence intuition that we talked about yesterday. There is parental intuition. I guess so. I'll give you that. There are times when they'll behave a certain way, and you instantly know that something's like you just know that something's not quite right. And it could be because another kid's done something or said something. It could be something else that's happened earlier in the day that they're still sat in their mind. And it could be because it's something like ASD. There is a parental intuition that does exist there. But sometimes you just kind of don't know until you start picking it apart, and then you do know. And once you've started picking it apart, so when our kids aren't coping for whatever reason, Luce is very, very good at a reasonable time, not necessarily immediately, sitting them down and be like, what happened here? Like, so what was the story?
We now do a thing on a Friday, a wellness hour on a Friday, because I can't keep, because the self-esteem thing is so prevalent in ADHD. I'm sure it's there in autism, but in this house it seems to be entangled in with
Both my boys, 6 and 3, have ASD, and the oldest also has ADHD. I love how direct my oldest is, but it is tricky at times teaching him how to be direct without sounding like a tool.
Yeah, so what you're doing, Sheep Avenger, in my opinion, is you're teaching him to apply a filter. You're not necessarily stopping him from being who he is, but you're teaching him to apply a filter, right?
So we do a wellness thing on a Friday because I can't address every small feeling every day because we will never get anything else done. And sometimes, as hard as tough as it is, you have to go, oh well, move on. Because if we keep talking about our fucking feelings every fucking day, well, I'm not going to be raising robust children.
No, well, but the thing is, the world would suggest nowadays, Lise, that you don't need to. Why must you raise robust children? Why? Because life's fucking tough.
Yeah, and the world is full of no, and there are no participation medals when you go for job interviews. You either get it or you don't, and it's shit or it's glorious. So we do a session on a Friday because then it is, did anything happen this week that you want to talk about? Because something that might have felt really massive on Monday, by Wednesday, they don't want to talk about because it's done.
Yeah.
And it's sorted now. But we did have one situation where James and his friend had a scrap and I had to pull them off each other. James got punched in the head. James said a swear word and I was like, oh, okay, it's in context, but please don't swear. It's because they're at home, they hear them all, they know all the swear words. And then we got home and I was pretty much, I thought I already knew what it would be about, and I was very wrong. Something had happened back in January that both boys had been harbouring, and this punch-up happened in March.
Oh, yeah.
And when I said to James, did you need to remind your friend about why your feelings were hurt? And he was like, no, he knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said, wow, so you two have been carrying this around since January, waiting for an opportunity.
Don't you think it's mad as well?
To bring it up.
I don't remember what I did last weekend half the time.
And it is... I feel like saying to Jim Jam, I get holding grudges. I love to hold a grudge because time is a great healer, and sometimes me having a memory like a sieve, I'll walk straight back into the same unhealthy relationship and think, why haven't we spoken for a while? Well, now I have my cunt book. So I can go, why didn't I speak to that person for a while?
No.
Oh, yes.
True
I
chat.
remember.
True, she actually has a
Because-
cunt book, and it's what it's called. It's literally what it's called as well.
Because this happened. So, no, I'm
Right.
still not talking to you. Time is a great healer. And I do end up walking straight back into the same situation and making the same mistake. So that book has saved me. But it was a bit like, that was a complete accident. What happened in January is an accident. And it's really difficult to try and get James to understand accidents happen. There doesn't need to be blame every time.
Yeah.
And you're also a child, and this is the time you get to mess up. So do all the messing up now. Do it now. So by the time you're 18 and you're on your own,
Yeah.
you definitely have a good moral compass.
Big shout out 95 Ginger Age for the 5 gifted. Big shout out B as well for becoming a Hesea tier all by yourself with your own money. You're an absolute legend. Thank you. That's 108 new members. We are unfortunately 142 away from Cass becoming a mod. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Cass. I tried for you. Right, I'm sorry. I tried for you. Yeah, Lucy's got her own grudge book. She's a Votan.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely that.
I love my little book.
Anyway, see, this is the thing, right? This is. Do you know what, right? In genuine seriousness, and this is going to sound slightly soppy. This is one of the reasons why I love this channel and I love the chat and I love you guys, because what we've done now is we've essentially spent 90 minutes not talking about 40k. We've talked about the free boob movement. We've talked about Weatherspoons. We've talked about Loose Line the Drive. We've now talked about society. We've actually touched on a pretty serious grown-up topic, and no one's fallen out with each other. It's mad how that works, right? It's absolutely crazy. We've had an hour and a half of just hanging out with each other. This is the power of this. What I think is amazing about this channel and this community, because it carries on in Discord as well. If you're not a member, get yourself a membership somehow. I don't know if you can get yourself gifted turn on, or just become a member all by yourself and come and join us in Discord. These conversations carry on forever.
Wait, Luce has a book where she keeps names of who she has a grudge against. How tall is she?
Exactly, she's a Votan, 100%.
So this book was kind of born out of, I said that would happen. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. And then the cunt book was born.
Yeah.
Because I said it would happen.
So, you know, sometimes we do this as well. If you are new here or you're newish here or you haven't been here for a while, sometimes we do this. Sometimes even for a 40k streamer, sometimes the world of 40k just gets too much. And then we go off on a random evening where we hang out, we drink some beers, we chat nonsense, we tell shit jokes, we put the world to rights, and we all go away after a Friday evening stream and go, right? And then we get into the weekend, maybe a little bit more unwound, a little bit more chilled out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've had fun. Asbo says, good social chat about real life. Andy, thank you for the 10 for the squats, but stop it. Stop super chatting 10s every time, you fucking lunatic. I appreciate you though. Thank you so much. So I hope you guys have actually enjoyed the chat, right? Like I said, please, I have it pinned. Please go and check Mikey's video out about terrain. It's really, really good. I could have done a watch along. I didn't want to steal his views. It's one of the rare times you'll hear me tell you that a Hellstorm wargaming video is worth a watch. Absolutely, absolutely worth a watch. Chris says, awesome to hear of other people's triumphs and struggles with autism and ADHD. Like, there's someone else in chat earlier was also saying about how they've discovered they've got it through their kids' diagnosis.
Strippers and bacon, Liam. I have heard that strip clubs have some of the best breakfast buffets. Might just be a US thing though.
That sounds amazing. Strippers and bacon loose?
Nice.
Yeah?
Glitter on my bacon.
Nice ham sandwich.
Today my two sons had a great day at the beach. Got in a punch up, then the youngest shat his pants. Full spectrum there.
I'm sorry, Sandy. I shouldn't laugh, but that was amazing.
On Chris Curtis's comment, it's so you're here now. We're 3 years this month that I've been homeschooling them for, but we're really only 2 years kind of settled. If you'd have spoken to us when James was maybe 5, would you say 5 or 6 was probably a really weird time?
Yeah.
And Ben was brand new. That we looked miserable because we were like, what is autism? What is this? What is this? What was this?
Yeah.
Why do we now need to storyboard everything? What's going on?
But like I said, and someone said it earlier, like their semi-diagnosis, because it's not officially diagnosed, has helped me learn loads about myself as well, which is really good, really important. I definitely cope with certain things better now because I understand it more. Do you know what? One thing I will very quickly say, is I would urge any of you people, if you think there might be something there, push for some kind of check or test or diagnosis, right? Honestly, because it helps you understand. Anyway, we're over time, and I need to get a shower. And there's 2 things we need to do before I go. The first thing I need to do is you need to have a loose fact, and she's got one ready over there. The second thing I need to tell you, this stream is set up to dump all 200 people of you live into Tabletop Titans audience who are currently streaming Tyranids vs Space Marines in 10th edition. There we go. So they're streaming right now. It's going to dump you all in there straight away. It's a big deal because Brian's back as well. Brian hasn't been in the studio playing a game for over 2 years. He's there for 2 weeks. He's going to be there for the whole week that I'm there as well. So get excited and come and hang out. And first of those 2 things is this.
A goldfish will lose its colour if it's not exposed to enough light.
But is it then a goldfish?
No, it'd be a fish.
That's true, yeah. It was just be a fish loose. Brilliant. Okay, there you go. There's your loose fact. That's how quick it's going to be. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you've enjoyed the chat. You guys are incredible. The stream's going to end really, really quickly. Quicker than normal. Quicker than you could normally do, you know, your normal goodbyes in. So I dump you straight in the Titans. I don't want you all to go away. I want you to all dump into the Titan stream, right? Okay? I suffer from PTSD. It's a weird thing for me and other people who can't understand my condition, e.g. agoraphobia, sleepless nights, talking for Britain as my brain runs 1,000 miles per hour. People don't know. People struggle with things on the inside. Steve, it's really good, actually, that you can talk about the fact that you suffer with it. That's already the first step. That's amazing. Right, you guys are amazing. I love you so much. Don't forget, join Titans. Instantly go into the chat. Raid them. Tell them it's a Great Hall raid. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.